Hey everyone, what is going on? So we're doing something a little bit different today. We're not taking a look at Go Battle League for this video. We're taking a look at my Commander Cup. So for those that don't know, Silph Arena runs monthly themed tournaments. They make a new meta. You can use different Pokemon. It's really exciting. And we host one on my Discord every single month. Well, my friend Green Heron VA, shout out to her. She hosted every single month. So thank you so much, my friend, for hosting these tournaments. We really do appreciate it. The community would not be the same without you. But anyway, these tournaments are 100% free to enter. We just finished May's tournament, so we will be having one in June. So if you want to go ahead and join it, again, 100% free. Everybody is welcome. So the link to my Discord is in the description down below, and you do have to be a part of the Discord, and we would love to have you. So I'm going to be entering next month's tournament, and who knows what it's going to be. They didn't announce the meta yet. But let's take a look at my Commander Cup. So the team I chose is going to be Alolan Marowak, Toxicroak, Frostlass, Lantern, Alolan Ninetales, and Alolan Muck. So these are the Pokemon I have to use throughout the entire tournament. And yeah, we'll just see how it plays out. We had 5 rounds. So let's go ahead and look at the battle. So right now we have a Water Gun Lapras, which is doing a lot of damage to my Alolan Marowak, which is not great, right? Surf is going to be enough to KO us. I'm just going to let it go and bring in Lantern. Going to go ahead and go for the Thunderbolt immediately just to try and KO this Lapras, and we do KO it. And in comes his Hypno, and since I knew he had Hypno, I basically wanted to get rid of the Lapras just so I could bring in my Alolan Muck to handle the Hypno. Going to go ahead and shield this. I mean, I could have taken it, obviously, but there's no reason not to. Gonna go ahead and charge up enough for almost 2 Dark Pulse attacks. Gonna go ahead and go for 1. This will get the shield, and then the next one will KO. He does get off an attack. Again, I'm gonna shield it. Gonna be able to take it, but I'll just shield it. Might as well shield it. And we're gonna be able to get off this Dark Pulse. And Dark Pulse will be enough to KO. So that is gonna be a great game. Very well played. Now, it's not only one game, you play 3 games no matter what, and it's a best 2 of 3, but you still play all 3 games, so even if you win the first 2, you still play the third one. But obviously, if you lose the third one, you're still advancing to the next round, right? Anyway, Lantern into his Alolan Marowak. Not bad, because if Hydro Pump lands, it's going to KO it, but the Bone Clubs are going to be super effective. Plus, Shadow Bone is going to do a good amount of damage. He does go for the Shadow Bone. That does a lot of damage. So I think I go straight Hydro Pump. No, I actually go for the bait. That's right. I go for the bait here, expecting to get the shield. Let's see if I do get it. I do get it. And then my goal is to go for the Hydro Pump. I know I could survive another Shadow Bone and a Bone Club, so I'm not worried about that. Well, I guess I am worried because I do go ahead and shield. Maybe I couldn't shield. Maybe I couldn't survive it. Either way, I will go ahead and charge up extra energy and go in for the Hydro Pump. I'm pretty sure I could have survived that, though. I don't know. Either way, I shielded it. But we did take both shields from the Alolan Marowak, so I'm just going to let my Lantern go. So Lantern is going to go ahead and go down, and now I can bring in my Alolan Muck, farm up some energy. He is going to get to an attack. I can't farm up too much because these Bone Clubs are definitely going to add up. They are super effective, and they do quite a bit of damage. So I'm going to farm up a little bit extra and go for the Dark Pulse, which will be enough to KO. Keep in mind, he is out of a shield, and I do have a shield advantage. So kind of relying on Toxicroak. By the way, you do get to see your opponent's teams. So obviously I knew what team my opponent had. Anyway, he brings in his Lantern. So this is actually pretty good for us. So I'm going to go ahead and go for the Mud Bomb, do as much damage as possible. And I think I could... Do I commit to the Farm Down? I think I shield this and commit to the Farm Down. Because then I could have a Mud Bomb ready for the Alolan Muck. I think that was my game plan. And it looks like that's exactly what I'm doing. A little bit of lag, but it didn't affect anything. If you do experience lag, generally you're allowed to request a rematch. But again, it didn't really affect anything, so neither of us were bothered by it. We do get off that Mud Bomb, trying to get to another one. Not quite able to get to it. But keep in mind, Toxicroak resists Sludge Wave as well as Dark Pulse. And we're going to be able to take that Dark Pulse. And we're going to get to another one, which will KO the Alolan Muck. So despite losing the lead, we're actually able to flip the game with my Toxicroak. So Toxicroak is definitely a great Pokemon for this meta. So we do win the first 2 games, so we're going to move on. We're going to win the first round, but we still play a 3rd game. So it's going to be my Lantern into his Alolan Muck. And okay, let's see how this plays out. I think I just stay in, so right now that's exactly what I am doing. He will be going for his attack. I believe this is just a Dark Pulse. It is, but... Okay, yeah, 2 Dark Pulse after the Snarl should be enough to KO me. I am going to go ahead and go for the bait right now, hoping to pick up a shield. And then, similar to how I played with the Alolan Mawak, he does shield it, so that's very nice. Trying to get to the Hydro Pump. He does get to a charge attack, so I will go ahead and shield this, because I do want to get that Hydro Pump off. So going to be a Dark Pulse, trying to get to it. Able to get to it, very nice. So if he shields, I'm just going to let my Lantern go down. And he does shield, okay, totally fine. He is overfarming. I actually decided to switch into my Alolan Muck, trying to catch the Dark Pulse. I could have let him take out my Lantern, but I decided to switch in, trying to catch a Dark Pulse to try and waste some of that energy, because he did have a lot of energy. But maybe I should have let Lantern go down. He would have thrown, but then he would have had, as I said, he would have had a lot of energy. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and charge up extra energy, going for the Dark Pulse. And this Dark Pulse will be enough to KO the Lapras. So Lapras goes down. Very nice. Both of us are out of shields. I do know he has a lot of energy, though, on that Muck, which is not really good for me. In comes in comes a Alolan Muck. Can't do anything about it. He is going to go ahead and throw his Dark Pulse. Another Dark Pulse will KO, so that's why I decided to switch into Lantern. He will be able to KO me just fine right now. So this is going to KO. And I'm going to bring in my Muck, trying to get to a Dark Pulse, able to get to it. This is going to be enough to barely KO, I think, and then I have to hope Alolan Mawak. It does not actually KO, so it doesn't KO, but that's okay, because he's not going to be able to get to a move against my Alolan Mawak, and I'm going to be able to farm down, but his last Pokemon is Lantern, which is actually not good. I was hoping it was something like Hypno, or whatever other Pokemon he had that Alolan Mawak was strong against. Unfortunately, it was Lantern, so there's not much I could do here. A Hydro Pump is going to be enough to KO me. And that's totally fine, because, again, we still won the first two, so we're still going to win the round. So that is going to be a great game. Well played to my opponent. Very good game. And, yeah, awesome game. I really enjoyed it. So we're going to go ahead and move on to round 2 against my second opponent. So let's see what they have in store for us. So we're going to jump into it with my Alolan Mawak lead. He is leading with Toxicroak. Not too bad. He does switch out into his Alolan Muck. I am going to go ahead and switch out. I am a little bit low on the switch, but or slow, I should say, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and go for the Mud Bomb immediately. I do undercharge it because I want to get a little bit of extra farm, and we're going to be able to get those extra counters in, so that's very nice for me. So in comes his own Toxicroak, and we're ahead on energy because of that extra farm. Going to be able to go for counter. Or not counter, Mud Bomb. So that Mud Bomb will get the shield, okay. And we're trying to get to another one. He does get to one, of course. I am going to go ahead and shield. I believe I'm one counter ahead of him in terms of energy. So I should be able to reach my next one before he does. And it looks like I do. So I am going to go for this Mud Bomb. He could let it go. He could shield it. Let's see what he decides to do. He does let it go. So we're going to take that. In comes Jellicent. And I know my Alolan Muck is going to have a great time against this Jellicent. So I do throw the Mud Bomb, which is good. I probably should have switched into my Alolan Muck immediately instead of trying to go for this Mud Bomb against his Jellicent. But I realized that my Alolan Muck has great play against his Jellicent, that I wasn't really too concerned. I didn't need that Mud Bomb damage, but I wasn't really too concerned. Anyway, another attack. I'm just going to go ahead and shield it up. Shadow Ball is resisted. Bubble Beam, obviously not going to do much, but I decided to shield it just because. So I'm going to go ahead and go for this Dark Pulse. I don't think this is enough to KO after those debuffs, but it will get it pretty low. Oh, it is enough. Okay, it is enough. Some of these battles I might not necessarily remember. Either way, we take the first game, so very well played to my opponent. So we're going to lead with Lantern in the next one versus Toxicroak. So let's see how this plays out. So same matchup, right? It looks like he's deciding to stay in this time. Which I think is the correct play, because Mud Bomb is going to be super effective. So we do see a Mud Bomb. We do get hit with Mud Bomb. I'm going to go ahead and go for my Thunderbolt. And does he shield? He does shield, so at least we get a shield. And he's going to be able to counter me down, which is not great, but we did get a shield advantage. This is actually really bad for me because my Alolan Muck is weak against Mud Bomb. So is my Toxicroak. So we're actually in a bad situation. We did get an early shield, but that's okay. Not the greatest situation. This will be enough to KO him, though. So he does go down, so that's good. What is going to come in? Going to be Jellicent. Yeah, so I switch into my Muck. He brings in his Muck. Okay. So obviously switch advantage would have been really nice there, because then we could have had my Alolan Muck on his Jellicent and then my Toxicroak on his Alolan Muck. So that would have been beautiful. So I don't know that there's a way for me to pull this one out. I actually don't even remember if I win this. Just looking at it, I'm assuming that I don't. But I guess we'll see. So we're going to see a Dark Pulse come out. So this Dark Pulse is going to connect. We need one more Dark Pulse to KO. And he will get to his attack. I do have to shield because then I'm going to be very low. I think I overfarm. I'm trying to pull out something. I'm going to... The thing is, he still has a shield. He's just going to keep it for Jellicent. He gets to another move anyway. See, I was over-farming because I basically had to, and he was going to be able to get to a move. So I do go down, and now he brings in his Jellicent, and there's really nothing I could do. I think, yeah, I don't even throw the Mud Bomb because I know I'm going to lose this one. So Shadow Ball will KO me, and that is going to be a great game. Very well played. So we're 1-1 in the second round. We're going to go ahead and move into the final round or the final game of round 2. It's been so long since I've done Shoutcast for Silph Arena content, but I love these metas, guys. I really do. So I lead Frostless into Hypno. Pretty good matchup. I do have to keep in mind that that thing probably has Shadow Ball. It could also have Fire Punch. So it's a pretty good matchup, but it's not... You know, it could go either way. Anyway, he switches out. That allows me to get in my Toxicroak, which is really good for me because Toxicroak does really well. I'm not going to undercharge this time. I just go for the full amount, and he is going to go ahead and get off his move. Again, Toxicroak can take it. I actually kind of want him to throw his attack to get me pretty low, so Hypno can't significantly farm me down. It's going to be able to farm me down and get like 2 confusions, I think. Yeah, going to be able to get 2 confusions worth of energy, which is not great for sure, but I do have my Alolan Mug. I also have Frostlass. I think let's see, I bring in my Alolan Mug, okay. So, I know Frostlass has energy, so Frostlass with energy is going to do well pretty much against anything that's in the back. I don't know what would do well, what would be able to resist both of those attacks. I don't know, there's probably something. But we do get the shield there, very nice. Going to switch and go for Shadow Ball immediately. Unfortunately, he gets off his attack before I can click on the Shadow Ball. So he does have Fire Punch, of course, and I do get off the Shadow Ball, which will be enough to KO or get his final shield. And we do KO it, and in comes Jellicent. So beautiful. At this point, I knew I was going to win the game because Frostlass and Alolan Muck both are going to do well against Jellicent. We're just not even going to bait, just going to go straight Shadow Ball. And then we're going to try to get to another one. And he does get to an attack. I am going to go ahead and shield it. Actually, maybe I don't. No, I don't even shield it. Funny enough, it's Bubble Beam and I actually survive. But even if it was Shadow Ball, Alolan Muck would have been able to take care of that Jellicent. That's why I decided not to shield. And then I switch into my Alolan Muck. He does go for an attack. Might as well shield this one. So I'm going to go ahead and shield this. It's going to be another Bubble Beam. Totally fine. We're going to be able to get to a Dark Pulse, and this will be enough to KO the Jellicent. And we are going to win round 2. So great games to my opponent. I like the adjustment I made adding Frostlass on the team. It helped out a lot. So we are going to go ahead and move into the next round, or round 3, very shortly. And here we go, going up against Elite and Free to Play. Okay, so leading with Toxicroak against Jellicent. Okay, not a good matchup. Not a good matchup. So I think I'm just staying in right now. This is pretty bad. I could have switched into a Alolan Mawak maybe. I'm going to go for the Mud Bomb. Oh, I switch in right now into my Alolan Muck. Okay, I think I was trying to catch a Shadow Ball. I think that's why I switched into a Alolan Muck. But in hindsight, watching the battles back, I think maybe I should have immediately switched into my Alolan Mawak. And because Alolan Mawak can do well with Shadow Ball, of course, you have to watch out for the Shadow Ball, but I think that's probably what I should have done, switched immediately into Alolan Mawak. But again, it could depend on the rest of his team. I don't remember this trainer's team, so I could have been thinking about other members of his team and think, well, he has this or that. I don't want to bring in Mawak. But anyway, he does shield that. Okay, at least we get both shields with Alolan Muck. He is unfortunately going to be able to farm me down. So I do bring in Alolan Mawak now, and he switches into his Muck, and I'm going to bring in Toxicroak. So Toxicroak is going to be hit with an attack. I'm just going to let this go. I think I overfarm quite a bit. Let's see. Should probably overfarm. And yeah, we are continuing to overfarm a little bit. I probably should have went one more. I'm not sure if I could make it to another attack. Maybe I can. Let's see. Actually, that doesn't KO, so I'm going to get one more counter in, which is nice. And let's see what he is going to bring in. Going to bring in that Jellicent. Okay, so I do get to an attack anyway. So Mud Bomb is going to go ahead and definitely connect. And we're going to do as much damage as possible. I would like to farm him down, but I'm not going to be able to farm him down. And I'm calling the Bubble Beam, hoping it's a Bubble Beam. It's actually a Shadow Ball. And at that point, I knew I lost the game. So well played. It was actually very close. I think I kind of messed up this one. I feel like I could have had this one. But it was still a good game. Well played to my opponent. He does bring in his Alolan Ninetales, which actually has quite a bit of health. So yeah, well played to my opponent. I feel like in the beginning I should have played a little bit differently. Should have put in that Alolan Malwack. But even if I did, I mean, no, he still would have won, right? Because he had Alolan Ninetales that game, didn't he? I think he did. So if he did, I think he would have definitely won. But anyway, I had a great lead. He switches into Alolan Muck. I switch into Toxicroak. Great matchup for me. We're just going to go ahead and take this. I think I significantly overfarm here. Yep, overfarming enough for almost 2 Mud Bombs, because I know that Hypno's coming in, and I wanted to get as little farm as possible, so it's only going to get 1 Confusion worth of energy. He actually brings in Jellicent instead. He does not bring in Hypno, so I'm going to go ahead and go for my Mud Bomb just to get off some damage. So this will actually allow him to get some farm, which is not great, but that was a good play to bring in Jellicent, actually. So I'm going to bring in my Alolan Muck, because I know Alolan Malwack has a better matchup against Hypno than Alolan Malwack has against Jellicent. Okay, totally fine. We'll take these Bubble Beams. We'll take them all day long. Going to be hit with another one. And we do get off a Dark Pulse. He actually pulls a switch into Hypno, so that was a nice switch. I think I switch immediately after this. Yep, I do. So we're going to go ahead and do just that. And I do have to be careful of Shadow Ball. That's why I throw my Shadow Ball immediately, because I don't want to be hit with a Shadow Ball. He does shield. That tells me he's going for it, or he's going to bait. One or the other, right? So I am going to go ahead and shield this as well. I know Muck has a good matchup against Jellicent. He does go for that Shadow Bone, or Shadow Ball. I do overfarm a little bit, and then throw my own Shadow Ball. Not Ball, Shadow Bone. He does shield, actually, so I think I'm going to commit to the farm down. No, he actually switches. So he switches, and now I'm going to throw a Shadow Bone. This is going to do a tremendous amount. Going to be enough to KO, and now I know it's going to be a good game because I have my Alolan Muck in the back anyway, and Alolan Malwack is going to be able to close that one. So great game, well played, and we're going to move on to the final game. Whoever wins this is going to win round 3 and be undefeated 3-0 currently. So it's going to be my Alolan Muck versus his Alolan Muck. Okay, so it looks like we both had the same idea. So let's just see how this plays out. I think let's see how this happens. What happens? I do sneak in a Snarl, which is obviously very good for me. By the way, my Alolan Muck has bad PvP IVs, so I do need a better one. But that's irrelevant. I am going to go ahead and go for the Sludge Wave right now. And the Sludge Wave is going to connect. Very nice. And we're going to switch to catch I'm assuming Dark Pulse or Sludge Wave, whichever one. Dark Pulse, yeah. So we catch on the Dark Pulse, which is very nice. And he brings in Jellicent, which is not great. But at least we took his energy. So we're going to go ahead and go for these Mud Bombs. The Jellicent's definitely going to be able to win this matchup, but we'll do as much damage as possible. If he attempts to farm down, we're going to get him low, so he's not going to. I'm expecting this to fully be a Shadow Ball. It's actually a Bubble Beam. I guess because he wanted to go for the farm down, so that was actually a really good play on his end. I didn't expect that. I thought he was going to just go for the KO, but that was actually a good play. But because of that, we put Jellicent very low. So I'm going to bring in my Alolan Muck, and Alolan Muck is going to take this, and it's going to be a Shadow Ball. And he actually switches into his Alolan Muck. This allows me to go for Dark Pulse. So I'm going to go for that Dark Pulse and switch into my Alolan Malwack and farm down. Definitely a tricky situation. We're kind of relying on Alolan Malwack to win this one, guys. My opponent has been playing really well this game. He brings in Jellicent. I'm expecting Bubble Beams. I don't risk it. It is going to be a Bubble Beam. But a Shadow Ball would basically be the end of me. At this point, I thought I was going to lose. I thought I was going to lose this one. I do throw the Bone Club, and he does shield, so at least we get a shield there. That's awesome. Going to go ahead and take another attack, so I will shield this. Again, I don't want to risk that Shadow Ball. It's going to be a Bubble Beam, though, so nice bait by my opponent. I'm going to go ahead and throw the Bone Club. At this point, alright, so we throw the Bone Club. At this point, I'm thinking he has Alolan Malwack in the back. Not Alolan Malwack, Alolan Ninetales. That's why I switched out. So now I'm going to, and as you can see, he does. So now he has his Alolan Ninetales up against my Alolan Malwack. We resist everything. Well, we don't resist Side Shot, but, so we're going to go ahead and throw the Shadow Bone. And I'm like, hopefully this puts it in fire spin range. Can I farm down? Can I farm down before he gets to another attack? No, I cannot. I'm like, oh man, I lose this one. Good game to my opponent. I was like, yeah, great game. I survived that weather ball. I farmed down. We have a Bone Club ready to go. We're going to go for that Bone Club against Jellison. It is in Bone Club range. Literally 1 HP going to be able to take this round. Holy cow. That was crazy. I thought I was going to lose that game. Well played to my opponent. Great games, but that was definitely intense. So we're going to move on with 3-0, moving into the 4th round. There are 5 rounds in this tournament. We have Lantern up against a Kanto Raichu. And I'm like, okay. We're taking neutral damage from all of this. So I'm going to get to the Hydro Pump and throw in my Thunderbolt. He did sneak in a Volt Switch, which is not good for me. We do get the shield. So I think I'm pretty sure I take this. I do take it. I'm calling the Thunder Punch. It's actually a Wild Charge. Doesn't KO, but he'll switch in his Munchlax to KO me. I'm going to bring in my Toxicroak. At least we have Toxicroak up against Munchlax. The thing is, I want to have energy against his Raichu so I can throw a Mud Bomb, I think. So I think that's my goal. So I'm just going for the straight farm. No, I'm not going for the farm down. I'm farming up enough for almost 2, throwing a Mud Bomb to KO the Munchlax. And we're going to be able to KO it. Let's see if the Raichu comes in. If it is, we'll be able to get off Mud Bomb against the Raichu and probably take the final shield. It is. We're going to go ahead and go for this Mud Bomb. Going to be able to KO if he does not shield it. He does shield it. And we're going to, I think, try to get to another one. Do I shield? I think I do. Because I want to get to another one. No, I do not. I let it go. Okay. Okay, I bring in my Alolan Muck, and he has his Alolan Muck. So it's my Alolan Muck versus his Alolan Muck and his Raichu. Plus, I have a shield. So basically what I want to do is leave this matchup with a Dark Pulse. Or at least close to a Dark Pulse. I don't think I necessarily have to be at one. Actually, I think I want to KO this as soon as possible. Let's see. We overform once. Yeah, I overform once because I wanted to keep a shield for that Raichu. So this Sludge Wave is going to be enough to KO. And now he has a Raichu. And he has an attack, so I'm definitely going to go ahead and use the shield. That's why I wanted to save the shield. It is a Brick Break, nice bait. We're going to be able to get off the Dark Pulse. I was debating going up one more for the Sludge Wave, but I didn't know if he was going to get to another attack. But Dark Pulse is enough to KO. I thought it would be, but I wasn't sure. So we're going to be able to KO and take that game. So moving on to the second game in round 4. My Frostlass versus his Raichu. Okay. So he's going to switch out into Munchlax. I'm going to bring in my Toxicroak immediately. Great matchup for me. We're going to just go ahead and go for Mud Bomb as soon as possible. Don't think I undercharge it. Oh, I do undercharge it. Okay, never mind. And then we're going to get more farm. He does get to a Body Slam. I'm going to be able to take it, but I could still shield. No, I take it. Okay. So it's a very close matchup, but now this gives him very little farm on whatever he brings in. And Toxicroak did its job. We want to get to one more. We're able to get to it against Raichu. This forces the shield. That is huge. Volt Switch is a slow move, so this will force the shield. So very nice. And we do have to be careful because his Raichu, Wild Charge will KO like anything. So he does bring in his Raichu. I go ahead and shield this. I do not want to risk the Wild Charge. It is a Wild Charge, so nice call by me. He brings in his Alolan Muck. I see the switch, but I decide to throw the Avalanche anyway because it does a lot of damage. And I'm going to switch into my Alolan Muck. Now all I need is a Dark Pulse to KO. I go for it immediately, might as well. This will take all of his energy or his shield. So he does shield. He wants to save that. Totally fine by me. Just going to go ahead and let it go through. So going to be a Sludge Wave. And that is totally fine. I'm trying to get to another one. Not quite able to get there. Do I decide this? I don't think I shield. No, I don't even shield this. I actually live this, which is nice. And I overfarm a little bit, or quite a bit. Going to go ahead and go for the Dark Pulse, which will be enough to KO. So there we go. And we're trying to get to another one. Not able to. A Volt Switch does KO, but all we needed is an Avalanche to KO that Raichu. And we do get to it. This is going to be enough to KO the Raichu. And this is going to be a victory. And we're going to win round 4. We still have one more game against Nightmare. But no matter what happens in this game, we won it. So that's why that's why it feels good to win the first 2 games, because no matter what happens in the third game, you can kind of play casual. It does matter in a sense, right? Because obviously tiebreakers do matter, and they could determine whether or not you win on tiebreakers or not. But it's still nice, obviously, to play the third game knowing that you're already going to win that round, you know. So we're going to be hit with a body slam, totally fine. We're going to go for this Dark Pulse against Munchlax. And this is going to, okay, connect. We're trying to get to another one. Can we get to it? He already committed a shield. So I'm going to commit a shield to get to the Dark Pulse to try and take switch. And we're going to be able to get to it, and we do go for it. This should be enough to KO, I think, the Munchlax, or he could give up his final shield. He lets it go, so we do take switch. So very nice. In comes Raichu. So this is not good. He does get 3 volt switches worth of energy. That is actually really bad for me. So now he has a lot of energy, and look at that. He caught the Avalanche on his Alola Ninetales. Nightmare is absolutely playing incredible. So way to go. I bring in Toxicroak, and this is not looking too good for me. He's playing amazing. Well played. Going to go ahead and go for an attack. Going to be a Weather Ball, which is what I thought it would be. And I think I shield and farm down, or at least attempt to. Because I want to get to a Mud Bomb and take his final shield. But the problem is he has a lot of energy on Raichu. He has enough for 2 Wild Charges. So yeah, that's exactly what we do. We do go for the Mud Bomb. And we have 2 Mud Bombs, but unfortunately he's going to get off his attack before I can get to another one. Actually, I didn't have a second one. I was close to it. So this is going to definitely KO me. And then he's going to have a Wild Charge for my Frostlass. So great plays. Fantastic battler. And thank you for the epic match. I really appreciate it. So, but regardless, we do move on, and we're currently 4-0 in the tournament, and now we just immediately jump into the final round. So it's going to be my Alola Ninetales in the lead, and we're going to go for the Weather Ball against his Munchlax. So now at this point, I was the only one undefeated, but I was battling somebody who was had 1 loss. So we do get hit with a Body Slam. I'm going to go ahead and go for a Weather Ball. So this Weather Ball is going to connect. Very nice. And okay, Body Slam. This will be enough to KO. Now, I could have shielded this and got to a Weather Ball. I decided to let it go because I knew I could farm down with Toxicroak. And we're able to farm down. So he's going to bring in his Gengar. So I'm going to go ahead and go for Mud Bomb. Okay, so Mud Bomb going to do a lot to Gengar. So at least I'm expecting a shield, which is awesome for me. So we're trying to get to another one. It's going to be an attack. I know this is going to be a Shadow Punch, but it's still probably going to KO me. If it didn't, the Shadow Claws would. So we're going to be able to get to it, but he gets off his first, which forces me to use my shield, which is unfortunate. But that's okay. I'm going to go for the Mud Bomb. This should get the shield. Now, I think I make a mistake here. So I go for the Mud Bomb, which is fine. He shields, and I try to get to another one, and then I realize that I'm not going to make it, so I switch. I should have switched immediately. This is going to allow him to get to a Focus Blast. Yeah, he has Focus Blast, which is unfortunate for my Alolan Muck, and he's going to take that first game. I should have switched out Toxicroak immediately. That may have been better for me. It would have been better because we would have gotten to our move before he got to Focus Blast. But hey, well played, well played. So let's go ahead and move into the next one. So my Lantern versus his Alolan Ninetales, okay? So let's see how this plays out. This is a Charm Alolan Ninetales as well. I was using Powder Snow on mine. He's using Charm on his. I'm going to go ahead and go immediately for the Hydro Pump. I wasn't sure if the Ninetales would shield, so that's why I don't bait. But the Ninetales does shield, so nice shield. I'm going to go ahead and go for this attack. We'll see what it is. The Weather Ball will not KO. It's going to be a Psyshock. That does KO. So I'm going to bring in Toxicroak. We're taking a lot from Charm. Both of my Pokemon in the back are neutral to Charm. So I'm going to go ahead and just throw the Mud Bomb. This is definitely looking to be not so great for me. So we do KO, and he brings in his Hypno, which is unfortunate, and now he has Toxicroak against my Mug, so Switch definitely mattered there, but I don't think there was a way for me to get it, because even if I threw the bait, yeah, he would have shielded, but then he would have just been able to beat my lead anyway with Alola Ninetales, so I'm going to go ahead, and this is going to be a Mud Bomb. I do decide to shield this one up. I was just trying to think if there was a possible win condition, but at this point in the game, there's really no win condition for me. So we do go for the Dark Pulse. It does a decent amount, sure, but he's going to be able to farm me down. And then I'm going to bring in my Toxicroak. He does go for the Mud Bomb. I do shield it. I basically need to counter this down, but there's no way I'm going to be able to counter this down. He has another Mud Bomb. He charged up a lot of energy. And that's going to be a good game. We do lose that. We're going to move on to the third game, but either way, we go 4-1. So it's going to be a massive tie. Well, not really a massive tie. Well, I think it was a 6-way tie. I think. 5-6-way tie, something like that. So we're going to move on to the final game of the video. So it's going to be my Frostlass into Toxicroak, okay? Not too bad, not too bad. It's a pretty good matchup. He does switch into Gengar. I'm going to switch into my Alolan Muck. Good matchup for me. I do know he has Focus Blast now, at least. I don't want to take any chances, so I do Shield. He definitely baits me here. So it's going to be a Shadow Punch. But again, I didn't want to risk it because Focus Blast absolutely obliterates me. I do go for the Dark Pulse. We do get a shield back, so that's nice. Let's see, can I get to a Dark Pulse? He gets to an attack. I think I shield and Fawn down. Let's see. Well, it depends. It's a Focus Blast, so now I know that I could Fawn down. And we are able to Fawn that Gengar that down, so that's nice. He does bring in Toxicroak. I am going to go ahead and go for my Dark Pulse. And we just want to get as much damage as possible. And if you think about it, another Dark Pulse going to put the Toxicroak super low, even though it's resisting the moves. So we might actually get a shield here. We do not, but look how low it is. He's going to have to throw an attack. He does throw an attack, totally fine with me. Alolan Muck did all it had to do. So Muck is going to go ahead and go down. That's fine. And then we bring in Frostlass. He brings in Munchlax. I bring in Toxicroak. So we're going to actually be able to win this one. But again, he still won the round. We're going to go ahead and go for the Mud Bomb. This Mud Bomb is going to get the shield, very nice. And then we're going to take this Body Slam, not that we have a choice. But this Body Slam does not... Oh, no, it's Bulldoze. It does KO me. So we bring in Frostlass, and I go for Avalanche immediately. And then his back Pokemon is very weak. We're going to be able to Powder Snow it down. But anyway, guys, yeah, I'd love for you to join next month's tournament. Link in the description to my Discord. That would be fantastic. So as I said, it was a tie. So we're going to take a look at that in just a moment. As you can see, all those people, it looks like a 6-way tie, but I did win on tiebreakers. So meaning I had the best tiebreakers, I guess. So, you know, I won. But congratulations to everyone that entered the tournament and that also tied for first place. That is incredible. So thank you so much. Again, thank you so much for my friend Green Heron. I gotta give her a shout out. She hosts these tournaments. Been hosting them for over a year, probably about a year now. So thank you so much for that. I really do appreciate you. And we will be having another tournament next month. Once Silph announces the meta, who knows what it's going to be. We will have another tournament, and that's going to be it for this video, guys. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.